Find a truly comfortable position and let our journey begin. Allow your body to settle, to feel its full weight upon the soft, supportive surface of your bed. Every muscle, after a long day, is now being given permission to release, to let go. Feel the softness of the sheets against your skin, the gentle cushion of the pillow beneath your head. There is nothing you need to do right now, nowhere you need to be. There is only this moment right here in this growing quiet. Take a slow, deep breath in, feeling the clean air fill your lungs, and then exhale with a long, gentle sigh, releasing all the cares, all the lingering thoughts of the day. Let them dissolve as your breath merges with the stillness of your room. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in a sense of peace and breathe out any and all tension. Now let your mind gently drift to a place far away, a place hidden from the noise and hurry of the outside world, a place just for you tonight. You find yourself at the end of a long hallway, one built from cool grey stone. The air here is different, crisp and clean, with the faint, pleasant scent of damp earth and ancient rock. The only light comes from small oil lamps hung on the walls, casting a warm, honey-colored glow that dances softly on the rough-hewn stone surfaces. Before you, a spiral staircase, also carved from stone, begins its descent deep into the earth. Each step you take upon it makes a soft, solid echo, a low and resonant sound as if the earth itself is welcoming you. You place a hand on the cool stone wall that curves alongside the stairs. The feeling of the rock is grounding and steady, transmitting a sense of safety and permanence into your palm. You continue down, winding around and around. The light from above fades, and the space around you grows ever quieter. The sounds of the world have vanished completely, replaced by a profound silence, not an empty silence, but one that feels full, heavy with peace. The air becomes cooler now, and drier, carrying with it a very distinct aroma. It is the scent of dry earth, of aged oak wood, and the papery fragrance of old books of carefully stored knowledge. At last, the spiral of the staircase comes to an end. You stand before a massive door crafted from a single enormous slab of oak. Its surface is rich with the swirling grain of the wood patterns that look like the currents of time itself. A heavy black wrought iron handle feels cool and substantial in your hand. You give it a firm pull, and the door swings open. It doesn't creak or groan, but rather makes a low, resonant hum, like the sigh of a sleeping giant. As the door glides open, a vast space is revealed. This is the Seed Vault. An absolute silence envelops you. This place is so deep that no tremor, no vibration from the world above can reach it. The light here is soft, emanating from long, glowing strips that run along the high, vaulted ceiling, creating a warm but unobtrusive ambiance. On either side of you, towering oaken shelves stretch far back into the darkness, so high you cannot see their tops. Upon these shelves, thousands upon thousands of small glass jars are arranged in perfect, orderly rows. Each jar holds a tiny treasure within seeds from every corner of the world. Some jars are amber-colored, others are clear as crystal, all of them catching the soft light and creating a sparkling, endless mosaic. You step inside, and the heavy oak door swings shut behind you with a solid, satisfying thud. That sound is a final confirmation. You are completely separate now. You are in a sanctuary of life, a place of absolute safety. The cool, dry air caresses your skin. Your own breath seems to slow and deepen, matching the peaceful rhythm of this place. You walk down the central aisle between the two towering rows of shelves. Your footsteps make no sound on the polished stone floor. You feel small in the face of the vastness and the silence of this vault, but it is a comforting, sheltered smallness. Every burden you carried on your shoulders seems to have been left outside that heavy door. Here there is only stillness, order, and the quiet hope that radiates from the millions of sleeping lives held within those glass jars. Tonight, this place is yours. You begin to walk, moving deeper into the heart of the vault. Your gaze drifts upward, tracing the lines of the oaken shelves as they rise into the soft darkness above. They are like silent ancient trees in a petrified forest, their branches laden not with leaves, but with the quiet promise of them. The sheer orderliness of it all is deeply soothing. Every jar has its place. Every label faces forward in perfect alignment. There is a gentle, unspoken logic to this place, a rhythm of organization that calms the mind. You feel your own thoughts begin to settle, to arrange themselves into a similar state of quiet order. As you walk, your hand trails along the edge of a lower shelf. The wood is old and smooth, worn by the passing of many years and many hands, yet it feels strong and alive beneath your fingertips. It holds a faint warmth, a stark contrast to the cool air of the vault. You pass by sections dedicated to different climates, different continents. You see labels with elegant handwritten script, naming flowers from alpine meadows, hardy grasses from windswept plains, ancient trees from dense, misty rainforests. Each jar is a tiny embassy, a silent representative of a world far away, all gathered here in this shared sanctuary of peace. The central aisle leads you to a wider open area in the center of the vault. Here, nestled in an alcove carved directly from the stone wall, is a large wooden work table waiting for you like an old friend. Its surface is a vast expanse of dark, polished wood, marked with the faint scars and stains of careful, dedicated work. A single heavy wooden chair with a worn leather seat is tucked neatly underneath. Above the table hangs a low wattage lamp with a green glass shade, casting a contained circular pool of warm, gentle light onto the workspace. This is your destination. This is your space for the night's quiet task. You pull the chair out, the sound of its wooden legs, a soft, muted scrape against the stone floor. You settle into the leather seat, which feels supple and cool at first, but quickly begins to absorb your warmth. Here in this pool of light, the vastness of the vault recedes into a soft, protective background. This small, illuminated space feels intimate, safe, and entirely your own. On the table, a few simple tools are laid out with precision: a pair of long, slender tweezers, a small, soft brush with bristles like feathers, a stack of blank cream-colored labels, and a fountain pen with a dark wooden barrel, its gold nib gleaming faintly in the light. Beside these tools sits a small, unassuming wooden crate. It is new, the pine wood pale and fragrant. This is your work for the evening. A new collection of seeds has arrived, and it is your peaceful duty to give them their home here. You place your hands on the crate. The wood is raw and slightly rough, and you can smell the faint, clean scent of sawdust and pine resin, a fresh and living scent that mingles beautifully with the ancient, earthy aroma of the vault. You find the small brass latch on the side of the crate and flick it open. The sound is a tiny, satisfying click that echoes for a moment in the immense silence. You lift the lid. Inside, nestled in a bed of pale, curly wood shavings, are several small packets made of thick, brown paper. You reach in your fingers, sinking into the soft, springy shavings. The texture is delightful, and the rustling sound is as soft as whispering leaves. You lift out the first packet. It is light as air in your hand. It has been sealed with a simple dab of wax. On the front, written in a careful looping hand, are the words, Aquilegia caerulea, Rocky Mountain columbine. Below it, a location is noted, a high sunlit meadow above the tree line. You can almost feel the thin, crisp mountain air just by reading the words. You can picture the vibrant blue and white of the flowers nodding gently in the alpine breeze. This is the beginning of your task, but it feels less like work and more like a meditation. There is no rush, no deadline. Time itself seems to move differently down here, flowing slowly and smoothly, like honey. Your only purpose is to be present, to give your gentle, undivided attention to this small, precious cargo. You take a slow breath in inhaling the mingled scents of old wood-dry earth and fresh pine, and as you breathe out, you let go of everything else. The world outside the day that has passed, the day that is to come, none of it matters here. There is only the quiet glow of the lamp, the smooth wood of the table beneath your hands, and the tiny promise held within this simple paper packet. You hold the small paper packet in your hands, feeling its delicate weight. The paper is thick and fibrous, with a pleasant, rustic texture. You run your thumb over the small, dark red wax seal that holds it closed. It's slightly raised, and you can feel the faint impression of a tiny, intricate design pressed into it, perhaps a leaf or a flower. This small detail speaks of care, of a journey that began long before this packet reached your quiet table. With gentle precision, your thumbnail finds the edge of the seal. It flakes away with a tiny brittle crackle, a sound that seems incredibly loud in the profound stillness of the vault. The sound fades, instantly absorbed by the stone walls and wooden shelves, leaving the silence even deeper than before. You carefully unfold the paper. It opens with a soft, satisfying crinkle, the sound of a well-loved book being opened to a favorite page. The paper is folded into neat, sharp creases, a small piece of origami designed to protect its precious contents. As the last fold opens, you tilt the packet over a small, shallow ceramic dish that was waiting on the table. A tiny cascade of dark, glossy specks tumbles out. They make a sound like the softest rain on a dry leaf, a gentle, shushing whisper that lasts for only a second, and then they are still. You set the empty paper packet aside and lean closer, looking into the dish. Under the warm, focused light of the lamp, the seeds of the Rocky Mountain columbine gleam like tiny, polished beads of jet. They are impossibly small, yet each one feels perfectly and completely formed. They are smooth and oblong, with a deep, lustrous black color that seems to drink in the light. You can see your own reflection miniaturized and distorted on the surface of the larger seeds. You reach for the slender metal tweezers, their weight cool and balanced in your fingers. You gently touch the tip of the tweezers to one of the seeds. It makes a faint, almost inaudible tink, the sound of metal on a hard, organic surface. You pick it up. It is so light, it feels like nothing at all, a speck of solidified night held in the silver jaws of the tool. You bring it closer to your eye, marveling at its perfection. Within this tiny dormant form lies the complete blueprint for a future flower, the knowledge of how to grow roots, how to push through the soil, how to form leaves, and how to unfurl its intricate blue and white petals to the mountain. Sunday, each one is a universe of potential, in miniature, a quiet promise of beauty, waiting for the right moment to awaken. A deep sense of peace settles over you as you observe this tiny marvel. This is the heart of your work here, to be a quiet guardian of these small miracles. Your breathing is even and slow. Your shoulders are relaxed. The world has shrunk to this small illuminated circle of light, to the ceramic dish and to the sleeping life it holds. Now it is time to give them their home. To your right on the work table is a stack of empty glass jars, cleaned and polished to a perfect shine. You select one. It is small, fitting comfortably in the palm of your hand. The glass is cool and smooth, and when you hold it up to the light, it is so clear it seems almost to disappear. The lid is made of dark wood with a fine grain, and it has a cork seal on the inside to ensure the contents remain perfectly dry and protected. You unscrew the lid. The motion is smooth and silent. You place the open jar next to the dish. Now comes the most delicate part of the process. You pick up the ceramic dish. With both hands, your movements slow and deliberate. You bring the lip of the dish to the mouth of the jar and tilt it ever so slightly. The seeds begin to move, sliding together in a glossy black river. They pour into the glass jar with a sound that is utterly captivating, a soft whispering rattle, like tiny grains of sand flowing through an hourglass. It's a sound of gentle movement, of settling, of finding a new place of rest. A few stray seeds remain in the dish, and you use the soft bristled brush to gently sweep them toward the edge and into the jar, ensuring not a single one is left behind. Once they are all inside, you set the dish down. The seeds now fill the bottom quarter of the jar, a dark gleaming pool at the bottom of the crystal clear glass. You pick up the wooden lid and place it back on the jar. You begin to turn it, and the fine threads of the wood and glass engage silently. With a final gentle twist, the lid is secure. The connection is snug and perfect. A small, perfect world, now safe and sound. You hold the sealed jar in your hands for a moment, feeling the faint collective weight of the seeds inside. A quiet sense of accomplishment washes over you, a peace earned through gentle focus. Here in the heart of the earth, another small promise has been safely tucked away, waiting patiently for its future dawn. The sealed jar rests on the dark wood of the table, a tiny, self-contained world under the warm glow of the lamp. The light catches the curve of the glass, creating a soft, crescent-shaped highlight. Now it needs its name, its identity. You reach for the stack of cream-colored labels. They are made of thick, high-quality paper with a slightly textured surface, a pleasure to touch. You pull a single label from the stack. It makes a soft, satisfying thwip sound as it separates from the others. You place the blank label on the table directly in the pool of light. Then you pick up the fountain pen. It feels perfectly weighted in your hand, the dark wood of its barrel smooth and warm from the ambient light. You unscrew the cap, the fine metal threads whispering as they turn. You place the cap neatly beside the label, revealing the gleaming gold nib, which holds a single tiny bead of black ink at its very tip, like a drop of morning dew. This is not a task to be rushed. This is an act of inscription, of giving permanence to a name. You pause for a moment, taking a slow breath. You picture the flower in your mind's eye, the delicate spurred petals, the vibrant blue against the stark white. You recall the name written on the paper packet, Aquilegia caerulea. You dip the nib of the pen into a small square glass inkwell on the corner of the table. It enters the black ink with a nearly silent plink, and when you withdraw it, the nib is perfectly charged, sleek and dark. You steady your hand, resting your wrist on the table's surface. You bring the tip of the pen down to the paper. The moment the nib touches the label, it begins its work. A fine black line of ink flows out, absorbed instantly into the textured fibers of the paper. You begin to write your movements, unhurried and fluid. The only sound is the faintest whisper of the nib gliding across the paper, a soft, continuous scratch, scratch, scratch. It is a sound of creation, of careful intention. The letters flow from your pen in an elegant cursive script. Each curve, each loop, each straight line is formed with mindful attention. Quilegia. The name itself feels beautiful, ancient. You leave a small space and continue. Caerulea. Below the scientific name, you write its common name in a simpler, clearer print, Rocky Mountain Columbine. And finally, on the last line, you record the location of its origin, a tribute to the place it once called home. When you are finished, you lift the pen. The ink on the label is a deep, wet black, gleaming for a moment before it begins to dry into a soft, matte finish. You screw the cap back onto the fountain pen, its threads whispering once more as they secure the nib. You place the pen back in its designated spot, a shallow groove carved into a small block of wood, everything in its place. Now you wait for the ink to dry completely. This waiting is not impatient. It is a part of the process, a moment of quiet observation. You watch as the last of the sheen disappears from the ink, as the letters settle permanently into the paper. Your gaze drifts from the label to the jar of seeds. They are a perfect pair, the silent potential and its written identity. The air in the vault is so still that the label dries quickly. You pick it up your fingertips, careful not to smudge the fresh ink. The back of the label is coated with a dry, traditional adhesive. You bring the label to your mouth, and with a delicate touch of your tongue moisten the back. The faint, sweet taste of acacia gum is pleasant and old-fashioned. You turn the glass jar so its smoothest side faces you. With steady hands, you position the damp label over the glass. You press it down in the center and then smooth it outwards with your thumb, first to the left, then to the right, ensuring there are no air bubbles, no wrinkles. The cream-colored paper adheres perfectly to the clear glass, a window of information on a transparent vessel. The black script stands out sharp and clear. The jar is now complete. It has a name. It has a story. It has a place. You hold it in your hands for a moment longer, a small finished piece of a much larger puzzle. The feeling is one of deep, quiet satisfaction. A single, simple task performed with care and attention has been brought to its conclusion. Now it is time for this jar to join its companions. You stand up from the chair, the jar held carefully in both hands. You turn away from the warm, focused light of your workspace and face the towering, shadowy shelves. The scale of the vault once again becomes apparent, but it is not intimidating. It feels like a grand library, and you are about to return a precious book to its rightful place. You feel a sense of purpose, of being a small but essential part of this immense, silent repository of life. Your next steps will take you into the quiet aisles to find the specific empty space that has been waiting for this very jar, for this very collection of mountain flowers. Holding the newly labeled jar, you leave the comforting circle of light cast by your desk lamp and step into the vast, softly lit aisle. The air feels slightly cooler here, away from the warmth of the bulb. The silence deepens, seeming to press in gently from all sides as you move away from the subtle sounds of your work. Your footsteps remain silent on the smooth stone floor, your presence a quiet, gliding shadow moving through this cathedral of slumbering life. You consult a large, leather-bound ledger that rests on a tall wooden lectern near your workspace. Its pages are thick and creamy, filled with the same elegant script as your labels. You run your finger down a long column of names, the paper cool and smooth beneath your touch. The book smells faintly of leather, ink, and time. You find the entry for Aquilegia, and next to it, a set of coordinates. Section C, Aisle 14, Shelf 87. With these directions in mind, you begin your walk. The aisles are marked with small, discreet brass plaques screwed into the ends of the shelves. The letters and numbers are worn smooth by the passing of time. You pass by Section A, the air subtly scented, with the dry, earthy aroma of root vegetables and ancient grains. You move past Section B, where thousands of jars hold the seeds of countless grasses from savannas and prairies across the globe. Finally, you arrive at the marker for Section C. This is the section for flowers. The energy here feels different, somehow lighter, filled with the ghosts of a million colors and fragrances. You turn into aisle 14. The shelves on either side of you are a breathtaking sight, jar after jar, each with its own unique contents. You see the tiny dust-like seeds of orchids, the feathery winged seeds of dandelions, the large striped seeds of sunflowers, and the strange alien-looking seeds of exotic tropical flowers. Each jar is a different shade, a different texture, a different shape, creating an infinite muted tapestry of potential. You walk slowly down the aisle, your eyes scanning the numbers on the shelves. 84, 85, 86. The shelves are so tall that a sturdy rolling ladder made of the same dark oak as the shelves is attached to a track that runs along the top. It waits silently in the middle of the aisle, ready to be of service. You find your destination, shelf 87, which is several feet above your head. You place your jar carefully on a lower shelf for a moment, then you approach the ladder. You place your hands on its wooden rails. They are smooth and solid shaped to fit perfectly in your grip. You place a foot on the first rung. It is wide and grooved for a secure footing. With a soft, muffled sound, the ladder's wheels roll a tiny fraction of an inch along the metal track as your weight settles onto it. You begin to climb. Your movements are slow and deliberate, one step then the next. The ladder is incredibly stable, connected firmly to the shelving unit itself. As you ascend, your perspective of the vault changes. You can see further down the long shadowed aisles, the endless rows of jars creating mesmerizing patterns of light and shadow. You feel like a librarian of life climbing into the stacks to find a specific piece of sleeping poetry. You stop when your eyes are level with shelf 87. The air is even cooler and stiller up here. You are surrounded on all sides by glass jars, their labels whispering names from distant gardens and wild landscapes. Rosa gallica lavandula, angustifolia, paeonia lactiflora. You find the space designated for your new arrival, a small perfect gap between a jar of California poppies and a jar of Himalayan blue poppies. It feels as if this very space has been waiting for your jar of Rocky Mountain columbine. It is its rightful home. You reach down carefully, your movements fluid and practiced, and retrieve your jar from the lower shelf. You hold it in one hand as you steady yourself with the other. Then you reach out and slide the jar into its empty space. It glides in smoothly over the polished wood, its glass sides just barely whispering against its new neighbors. The sound is a soft, glassy shink. It comes to a rest, perfectly aligned with the others, its cream-colored label facing forward. You let your hand linger there for a moment, your fingertips resting on the cool wooden lid. A profound sense of completion of rightness settles over you. This small journey is over. These seeds, which traveled from a sunlit mountain meadow across the world, have found their final safe resting place. Here they will wait, protected from time, protected from harm, holding their vibrant blue and white secret within their tiny dark shells. You take a deep, satisfying breath. The work feels meaningful in the most fundamental way. You are a tender of possibilities, a keeper of promises, From this high vantage point nestled among the shelves, you look out over the quiet, orderly expanse of the vault. It is a world of immense peace, a silent testament to the resilience and beauty of life. You feel a part of it, connected to the slow, deep rhythm of this place. There is nothing more to do with this jar. Your task is complete. It is time to descend, to return to your workbench and see what other quiet wonders await you in the small wooden crate. You descend the ladder with the same slow, mindful care with which you climbed. Your feet find each rung with practiced ease. The wood feels solid and dependable beneath them. When you reach the stone floor, you give the ladder a gentle push. It glides along its track with a low, smooth rumble, the wheels turning almost silently, a sound that feels deeply satisfying, a sound of well-oiled machinery and purposeful design. You send it a little way down the aisle, leaving it ready for the next time it is needed. Turning back towards your workspace, you walk through the silent aisle, but your perception has subtly shifted. Before the shelves were a beautiful but anonymous collection. Now you feel a specific connection to one small point in that vastness. You know that high up on shelf 87, your jar of columbine seeds has joined the silent chorus. This small act of placement has deepened your sense of belonging in this place. You arrive back at the alcove, at the warm, welcoming circle of light cast by your lamp. The space feels even more comforting now, after your short journey into the cooler, dimmer aisles. You slide back into the wooden chair, the worn leather seat embracing you with a familiar sense of comfort. Your work table is just as you left it, orderly, peaceful, and waiting. Your gaze falls upon the open wooden crate. There are several more paper packets nestled in the soft wood shavings. You reach in again, your fingers rustling through the protective bedding, and draw out the next one. This packet is different from the first. It is smaller, almost square, and the paper is a pale, silvery grey, with a texture as fine and soft as a moth's wing. It is sealed not with wax, but with a single delicate loop of dark blue thread. You hold it up to the light. The handwriting on this packet is different too. It is a precise, almost architectural script, small and neat. The words read, Myosotis alpestris, alpine, forget-me-not. Below another location, a windswept rocky slope in the Swiss Alps. Just reading the name Forget-me-not evokes a feeling of gentle nostalgia, of tender memories. You can almost feel the chill of the high-altitude air and picture the tiny, brilliant blue flowers with their bright yellow centers growing in resilient clusters amongst the grey rocks. Your movements are imbued with a quiet rhythm now, a gentle, meditative flow. You find the end of the blue thread and pull it. It unwinds, silently loosening its hold on the folded paper. You open the packet with the same care as before, its fine paper, making a sound even softer than the first, like the sigh of breath on a cold window pane. You tilt the contents into your clean ceramic dish. What spills out is not a collection of hard, glossy seeds, but something that looks like fine, dark dust, interspersed with tiny, almost weightless specks. They are minuscule, far smaller than the columbine seeds. They settle in the bottom of the dish, like a scattering of dark pollen. It is incredible to think that a living flower, a thing of such vibrant, impossible blue, could be born from something so humble, so barely visible. You lean in closer to observe them. They are not shiny, but matte and dark brown, shaped like tiny commas. To work with these, you will need an even greater level of care and delicacy. You feel a sense of profound respect for the resilience of life, for its ability to package its entire future into such an infinitesimally small vessel. You select another glass jar from your stack. This one is smaller than the first, more petite, perfectly suited to the delicate nature of its intended contents. You unscrew its small wooden lid, the motion smooth and familiar. You place it beside the dish of seeds. Using the soft bristled brush, you begin the patient process of sweeping the seeds from the dish into the jar. It is not a task of pouring, but of gently coaxing. You gather a small drift of the seeds onto the brush's tip and tap it lightly on the rim of the jar. The tiny specks fall in a soft, soundless shower. You repeat the motion again and again. The work is slow, repetitive, and deeply calming. Your entire focus narrows to the tip of the brush, the dark dust of the seeds, and the clear mouth of the glass jar. There are no other sounds, just the whisper-soft whisk of the bristles against the ceramic and the occasional, nearly imperceptible tap of the wooden handle against the glass. Your breathing remains slow and deep. The rhythmic, gentle movement of your hand becomes a physical mantra, a prayer of patience. Each tiny speck that falls into the jar is a testament to your gentle care. Slowly, the dish becomes clean, and a small dark smudge forms at the bottom of the jar. It is a treasure of immense value, a whole field of tiny blue flowers sleeping in the glass. You place the lid on the jar and twist it shut, the seal secure and final. You hold the small jar in the palm of your hand. It feels warm now from your touch, and so light it's almost startling. Now for its name. You take a new, smaller label from the stack. You pick up your fountain pen, its familiar weight, a comfort in your hand. You uncap it, dip the nib, and begin to write. The fine, whispering scratch of the nib on paper fills the silence once more. Myosotis alpestris. The name itself sounds like a soft whisper. Alpine, forget-me-not. You carefully form each letter, your mind clear and focused, your heart filled with a quiet sense of purpose. This is your role in this vast, silent world, to be a keeper of names, a guardian of memories, a tender of sleeping things. And in this gentle, focused work, you find a peace so deep and so profound that it feels as if it has always been a part of you. The ink on the new label dries quickly in the still, dry air. You perform the same small ritual as before, moistening the back and carefully, precisely smoothing the cream-colored paper onto the curved glass of the petite jar. It looks perfect. The dark, elegant script seems to give the tiny jar a sense of quiet dignity, a formal identity for the almost invisible life held within. You know where this one belongs. The ledger told you that the Myosotis genus has its own designated area, not far from the Aquilegia. It is in the same section, Section C, but on a lower shelf, one within easy reach. There is a logic to the vault's organization that is both scientific and poetic. Flowers that grow in similar high-altitude environments are often neighbors here, sharing the same quiet wooden space, just as they might share a mountain slope in the world above. Leaving your illuminated workspace once more, you carry the small jar in the cup of your hand. It feels precious and fragile, a tiny vessel of memory. You walk back down the central aisle and turn into the familiar quiet of Inscription 14. This time there is no need for the ladder. You scan the lower shelves, your eyes following the neat brass number plates. Shelf 12, Shelf 13, you find Shelf 14. It is at about eye level, making it easy to see the inhabitants. Here reside the smaller, more delicate flowers. You see jars of tiny seeds that will one day become baby's breath, alyssum and lobelia. It is a shelf of understated beauty. You find the space marked for Myosotis, a small gap waiting between a jar of seeds from the Arctic tundra and another from the high plains of Tibet. With a gentle, deliberate movement, you slide the little jar into its home. It nestles perfectly into the space, its new label facing out, joining the ranks of its silent companions. You feel a quiet resonance in this act. You are not just storing things, you are creating connections, building a silent community. These seeds, all born of harsh winds and thin air, are now gathered together in this deep, calm place. You rest your fingers for a moment on the shelf's edge, the smooth, cool wood, a grounding presence. You take a breath, feeling the deep, unwavering peace of the vault seep into your very being. You turn and walk back to your desk. The path is becoming a familiar one, a short, meditative journey between task and fulfillment, between doing and completing. Each trip reinforces the rhythm of your work, a gentle cycle of receiving, tending, and placing. This rhythm is the heartbeat of the vault, and it is becoming your own. Back in the warm glow of the lamp, you sit down and turn your attention once more to the wooden crate. There is one last packet inside. This one is strikingly different from the first two. It is not made of paper, but of a soft woven linen, the color of unbleached flax. It is tied shut with a simple piece of natural twine. It is larger and heavier than the others, and when you pick it up, you can feel the distinct shapes of the seeds inside, hard and round, shifting against each other. There is no writing on this packet, no elegant script. Instead, a small, simple drawing has been stamped onto the fabric in faded brown ink. It is the image of a massive ancient tree, its branches spreading wide and its roots digging deep. It is an oak. You hold the small linen bag in your hands. The fabric is soft and slightly coarse, a pleasure to touch. You slowly, carefully undo the knot in the twine. The fibers are stiff and rustic, and they make a soft, rasping sound as you pull the knot loose. You open the mouth of the bag. The scent that rises to meet you is wonderful. It is the rich, nutty, and deeply earthy smell of acorns. It is the scent of deep woods, of damp soil, of fallen leaves, and of ancient, enduring strength. It is a scent that speaks of seasons, of centuries of life, that is measured not in days or years, but in generations. You gently pour the contents of the bag onto a larger wooden tray, this time one with a raised edge. A dozen large acorns tumble out their movement, a deep, woody, satisfying rattle. They roll for a moment before coming to a stop. They are beautiful. Each one is a perfect specimen, its body a smooth, glossy, tawny brown, and its cap a rough, textured grey-green fitting snugly like a small, hand-woven helmet. They look like sculpted pieces of wood, each one unique in its shading and texture. You pick one up. It is heavy and solid in your palm, its surface cool and smooth as a polished stone. You run your thumb over its textured cap, feeling the intricate, overlapping scales. There is nothing small or delicate about this seed. It is bold, robust, and full of a powerful, slow-growing life. To hold it is to hold the promise of a giant, a future home for birds and squirrels, a future shade for countless summer afternoons. The task for these seeds will be different. They are too large for the small glass jars. They require a different kind of home. Beside your desk, you notice a set of small, beautifully crafted wooden boxes, stacked neatly. They are made of cedar, and when you pick one up, you can smell its clean, aromatic fragrance. These are for the larger seeds, the nuts and pits of great trees. Your work now is to check each acorn, to ensure it is whole and healthy, ready for its long slumber. You take the soft brush and gently whisk away any dust or debris from each one, your movements slow and respectful. This task feels different, less like the delicate work of a watchmaker, and more like the grounding work of a gardener or a forester. It connects you to the earth, to the slow, powerful cycles of growth and renewal. As you hold each solid, hopeful acorn, a sense of deep, timeless peace fills you. You are a guardian not just of flowers, but of forests, a keeper of giants. You examine each acorn with gentle, focused attention. You turn them over, in your palm feeling their reassuring weight and solidity. You look for any imperfections, any signs of fracture or weakness. But they are all flawless, chosen with obvious care by the person who gathered them. They are perfect capsules of potential, each one a dormant giant. The warm, nutty scent of them fills the small space around your desk, a fragrance that is profoundly calming and grounding. Once you are satisfied with their condition, you select one of the small cedar boxes. The wood is a beautiful reddish-brown with a fine, straight grain. It is incredibly light, and the lid slides open smoothly in a fitted groove. The moment you open it, the clean, spicy aroma of the cedar wood intensifies, mingling beautifully with the earthy scent of the acorns. The inside of the box is raw and unfinished, allowing the natural properties of the wood to protect its contents. You take a handful of the soft, curly wood shavings, the same kind the seed packets were nestled in, and create a soft bed on the bottom of the box. The rustling sound is dry and soothing. Then, one by one, you begin to place the acorns into the box. You arrange them carefully, ensuring they have enough space that they are not pressing too hard against one another. Each acorn makes a soft, solid thunk as you place it on the bed of shavings. Thunk, thunk, thunk. The sound is deep, woody, and immensely satisfying. It is the sound of substance, of things being put securely in their place. You are not just filling a box, you are creating a tiny, safe cradle for these future trees. The simple, repetitive action is deeply meditative. Your mind is quiet, your focus entirely on the feel of the smooth acorns and the soft shavings, the clean scent of the cedar, and the gentle, rhythmic sounds of your work. Once all dozen acorns are nestled in the box, you add another light layer of wood shavings on top, covering them completely. They are now suspended in a soft, fragrant cushion, protected from any movement or changes in humidity. They are safe. They are at rest. You slide the cedar lid back into place. It moves with a soft, woody shh sound, fitting snugly and perfectly into its groove, sealing the acorns inside their aromatic chamber. You run your hand over the top of the box. The wood is satin smooth, a testament to the care with which it was made. Now, this container needs its own form of identification. For the wooden boxes, you do not use paper labels. Instead, you use a small, specialized tool that rests in its own velvet-lined case on the table. It is a wood-burning pen. You plug it into a discreet socket beneath the table. It makes no sound, but you know that its metal tip is beginning to heat up. While you wait, you practice the motion of writing in the air above the box. You will not write the scientific name this time. For the trees, the tradition in the vault is to use their simple, ancient, common names. Oak, just one word full of strength and history. After a few moments, a faint, wispy curl of smoke rises from the pen's tip, and you can feel a gentle wave of heat emanating from it. It is ready. You pick it up. The handle is made of thick cork, insulating your hand from the heat. You hold it as you would a regular pen, your grip light but firm. You steady your hand and bring the hot pointed tip down to the surface of the cedar lid. The moment it touches the wood, there is a soft hiss, a tiny puff of fragrant smoke, and a dark line begins to appear, burned permanently into the grain. You move the pen slowly and deliberately, the process requiring a steady hand and a calm mind. The smell of burning cedar is clean and sharp, like a distant campfire on a crisp autumn night. It is a scent of warmth, of craft, of transformation. The resistance of the wood against the hot tip is a tactile pleasure, a slow and steady conversation between you and the material. You draw the sweeping curve of the O, then the sharp angles of the A, and finally the straight, strong lines of the K. The letters are dark and rustic, burned into the reddish-brown wood. They look as if they have been there forever. When you are finished, you lift the pen and place it back in its heat-resistant stand to cool. The single word, oak, is branded onto the box, a permanent and fitting title. The smell of the burned wood lingers in the air, a clean and pleasant aroma that adds another layer to the complex fragrance of the vault. You let the box sit for a moment, allowing the freshly burned lines to cool. You run your finger over them gently. You can feel the slight indentation, the texture of the carbonized wood. This act felt more elemental than writing with ink. It felt like leaving a mark of purpose, a signature of care. Holding the finished box in both hands, you stand up. You know exactly where this one goes. The great trees have their own section, a place of honor in the vault. It is on the other side of the central aisle, in a part of the vault, constructed with even larger, heavier shelves, designed to hold the weight of these powerful seeds. You turn away from your quiet workspace and begin the short, purposeful walk to find a home for the sleeping forest. You cross the wide central aisle, your silent footsteps carrying you away from the delicate kingdom of flowers and into the realm of giants. The atmosphere on this side of the vault feels subtly different. The shelves are indeed larger, crafted from darker, thicker beams of wood and spaced further apart. Everything feels more substantial, more ancient. The air itself seems to carry a different weight, scented with the faint phantom aromas of pine resin, maple sap, and damp redwood bark. This is Section T, for trees. You walk down an aisle where the names on the boxes evoke vast and varied landscapes: Sequoia pinus, Betula, Fagus. Each name represents not just a tree, but an entire ecosystem, a world of shade and shelter. You feel a sense of deep reverence walking here. These shelves hold the potential for entire forests, the quiet, sleeping architects of future cathedrals of green. You find the area designated for the genus Quercus, the oaks. The shelf is at a comfortable height, about level with your chest. Here, a collection of cedar boxes already rests, each one burned with the name of a different species of oak from around the world. Red oak, white oak, cork oak, home oak. You find the empty space waiting a perfect box-sized gap in the neat row. You lift your cedar box, the one you have just prepared. It feels warm in your hands, a combination of your own body heat and the residual warmth from the wood-burning pen. You hold it for a final moment, sending a silent wish of peace to the dozen sleeping acorns inside. Then, with a slow and steady motion, you slide the box into its designated place. It fits perfectly. The reddish brown of your new cedar box settles in amongst the slightly older, more weathered boxes on the shelf. The freshly burned letters of the word oak are dark and clear, a new addition to this silent library of woody life. The act of placing it here feels final and deeply right. You have completed the cycle once more, receiving a gift from the outside world, tending to it with mindful care, and giving it a safe, permanent home in this deep, quiet sanctuary. You stand there for a moment, simply breathing, inhaling the complex, layered scents of wood and earth, exhaling and feeling your own quiet presence in this vast, silent space. You have no more tasks for the night. The wooden crate on your desk is now empty. Your work is done. A feeling of profound peace, even deeper than before, washes over you. It is the peace that comes from gentle, purposeful work, from contributing in a small way to something large and beautiful and enduring. There is no need to hurry, no need to leave. You can simply be here in the stillness. You turn and begin the slow walk back toward your alcove. This time you are not returning to more work, but simply to a place of rest. As you walk, your gaze sweeps across the endless shelves, across the thousands of points of light reflected in the glass jars, across the dark, solid forms of the wooden boxes. You are the sole guardian of this place, the keeper of its silence, and in return this place is your guardian, the keeper of your peace. You reach your desk and the warm, welcoming pool of light. You look at the clean, empty surface of your work table. The tweezers, the brush, the pen, all have been returned to their proper places. The empty wooden crate sits to one side, its journey over. You gently place the wood-burning pen, now cool, back into its velvet-lined case and close the lid with a soft click. You stand before the heavy wooden chair for a moment, and then instead of sitting, you reach up and turn a small brass key on the side of the green glass lamp. With a soft click, the light goes out. The immediate darkness is complete, but your eyes quickly adjust. The primary lights of the vault are still on, casting their soft ambient glow from high above, but your intimate workspace has now rejoined the grander, dimmer whole. The transition is gentle, like the slow fading of twilight. You are now bathed in the same soft, uniform light as the rest of the vault. You are no longer an actor in a small, illuminated scene, but a quiet observer of the entire magnificent space. The silence seems to expand, to fill the space that the focused light once occupied. It is a vast, comforting, and all-encompassing silence. You take one last, slow look around at the towering shelves rising like silent cliffs into the soft darkness. You are safe here. You are at peace. It is time to rest. You turn away from the now dimmed workspace and begin to walk toward the exit, your journey taking you back down the long central aisle. Your footsteps make no sound. You are a quiet presence moving through a world of profound stillness. The air is cool on your skin, and the scent of earth and wood and sleeping life surrounds you like a soft, invisible blanket. As you walk, your body feels light, your mind clear and uncluttered. The gentle, repetitive tasks of the evening have washed away any lingering thoughts, leaving behind only a sense of calm, accomplishment, and deep peace. You are no longer focused on any single jar or seed. Your awareness has expanded to encompass the entire vault, the immense, silent collection of life that surrounds you. Each shelf you pass is a silent promise, each jar a sleeping dream. Here in the deep quiet of the earth, the future of meadows, forests, and gardens is held in a state of perfect, suspended grace. And you have been a part of that. You have been a guardian of that grace. You reach the enormous oak door. It stands as a silent sentinel, the gateway between this deep sanctuary and the world above. You place your hand on the heavy, cool iron handle. It feels familiar and grounding. With a gentle pull, the door swings inward, its movement accompanied by that same low, resonant hum, a sound of immense weight moving with perfect ease. You step across the stone threshold, and the air changes. It is still cool, but there is a faint hint of the dampness of the ascending stairwell. You turn and watch as the great door swings shut behind you, its final soft thud sealing the vault in its perfect silent peace once more. you begin to climb the spiral staircase. Your hand rests on the cool, curving stone wall, guiding you upward. Each step is slow, deliberate. You are not moving toward the noise and hurry of the world, but simply ascending toward a place of rest. The faint, warm light of the oil lamps grows stronger with each turn, casting long, soft shadows that dance around you. The climb is effortless. Your body feels weightless, your mind serene. You are carrying the deep peace of the vault with you, bringing its stillness up from the heart of the earth. The silence is no longer absolute, but it is still profound. You can hear the soft whisper of your own breathing, a slow, steady rhythm, in and out. As you near the top, you feel a sense of gentle transition. You are leaving one world of peace and moving toward another, the quiet sanctuary of your own sleep. There is no jarring shift, only a soft, seamless blending. The peace of the vault becomes the peace of your bedroom. The stillness of the deep earth becomes the stillness of the night. You reach the top of the stairs, the end of the long stone corridor, and you let the image of that place gently dissolve like mist in the morning sunday, but the feeling remains. The deep, unwavering calm, the sense of being safe, secure, and perfectly at rest. Your body is heavy and relaxed now, sinking deeper into the softness of your bed. Your breathing is slow and even a gentle tide rising and falling. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to think, only to feel this profound sense of peace. Safe and sheltered, you gently drift deeper and deeper into a peaceful, restorative sleep.